Welcome, one and all, to Dynamite DnD. We are in the off-season. Thank you for joining us. This is October, the October session of Dynamite D&D. It's been a while since our last game, but we're glad you made it back here. I'm Steve, the Dungeon Master. I'll be running the show here today. We've got 4 intrepid adventurers around the table, and we're going to go around and introduce them as soon as I start the music. Dynamite D&D coming at you live from the Fortress of Steve, one of the most technologically advanced D&D streams on the internet. Gonna go around the table, just the counterclockwise order that I've come to know and love. First of all, the one, the only, Curley. Say hi.
Hey everybody. If you've forgotten me, I'm Curley, and I'm playing a character named Hazel Groundswell, and she's a sorceress in level 6 and amazing. Let's go. Care Bear Cousins.
Curley,
off season.
Level 6 sorceress, Hazel Groundswell, half-elf sorcerer.
All out of spells.
Continuing on the counterclockwise pathway, we have none other than Paige.
I have a camera.
Say hi, Paige.
Oh, there's my camera. Okay, hi everybody. This is Paige Law, Paige the Law on Twitch, and my character's name is Idunn Corpse Knotter. She is a Goliath barbarian, and she likes to knot corpses and go into rages for her god.
Paige playing Idunn Corpse Knotter Gildenguard, the Goliath Barbarian. Going on down the line, we have Erin. Say hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin. I am playing Korv. I am an Aarakocra. That is also a bard, seeking knowledge and truth and justice so I can return to my people and help save their clan. And I'm a little young, spry one, and I age really quickly.
Erin playing Korv, the Aarakocra bard. Last but certainly not least, the man, the myth, the legend, Sam. Say hi, Sam.
Oh, yes.
Hello, Sam here's here, and I'll be playing as Robair Ribbons, Air Genasi, and Ranger Extraordinaire, and Monster Slayer.
Robair Ribbons, Sam Hears himself. Check him out. Sam Hears music. Last time on Dynamite D&D, the town had been apparently liberated from the clutches of the witnesses, as the gnome Thalia Deerheart had been put in charge, saying she was going to make big changes, the first of which was to overthrow the peacekeeping organization in Moonstone. The heroes, first of all, they went to the peacekeeper headquarters with the mayor of Moonstone, saying that they were going to show a display of force to get the peacekeepers to get out of there. They went over there, and the mayor stabbed everybody in the back and turned on the party, breaking Hazel's petite shoulder. They beat up and eventually killed the mayor as he and the peacekeeping force turned against the heroes and started trying to take them out of the picture. The leader of the peacekeepers, Carlo Borracho, seemed like just a guy who wanted to drink. He wasn't fighting, so he's like, "Oh, can I keep my job in this new regime?" They said, "We'll see, we'll see." They left him alone and finally made their way over to the Moon Dwarf district of town. They knocked on the clan home door, and were introduced to a helpful dwarf named Faragor. I'm Faragor. I'm a dwarf. All dwarves speak with Scottish accents. In D&D, don't you know? He listened to their story and said, "Oh, the clan chief, Radda the Unbending, would have the information they need for the endeavor they want to accomplish. They're trying to find a suitable gemstone that could possibly replace the one that was taken from Petunia." He said Radda the Unbending had gone into the Moonstone mines to investigate some strange ruins that had opened up recently. She said nobody was to work in the mines until we figured out what these ruins were all about. She went in 3 days ago and had not returned. Faragor asked the heroes to go inside and find what happened to her. The heroes, of course, agreed. They went into the ruins. They found a tablet bearing an inscription saying that these ruins were the Maze of 100 Tortures. The ruins appeared to be an ancient remnant of one of the old empires. It said it was a maze designed to punish sinners for betraying the empire. And the heroes went in, lost themselves in the maze, and came to a series of trials that were very personal to each and every one of them in their own ways. Korv faced off against a horde of gargoyles after seeing his wife. We won't say what Robair did to the image of Korv's wife.
You can say it.
Right in the eye.
You gotta watch the video for that one.
Secret Patreon bonus.
They overcame that challenge and made it to a tavern in which Robair lost all his genie traits and was a scrawny little runty full dwarf who was getting pushed around by all the tavern goers. They started a barroom brawl, and Robair and the others had to use the environment to their advantage to incapacitate the brawlers. They did so, and they made their way back into the maze, traveled for a little while, came upon a stormy coastline wherein Hazel had to call upon the power of her magic to unleash the full fury of her wild magic surge, transforming into a giant shark and battling against a razor turtle. Last but not least, they came to a wedding chapel wherein it seemed Idunn was getting married.
Congratulations.
Idunn walked down the aisle and was about to wed the wizard Magic Face,
Bridesmaid Hazel.
who at first looked like a very powerful and imposing figure, but then pulled back his hood and he was like, anybody watch Dexter's Lab Ego Trip back in the day? The teenage Dexter, he looked like that. That's an esoteric reference. And so now we find ourselves still in the maze of 100 tortures with the party who is bordering on the edge of exhaustion. You have exited the wedding chapel after having broken the illusion that was caused by mind maggots attached to your brain stems.
Guys, let's go home. Let's just go home. Let's start over in a new town.
Further and further you go into the maze. After about 10 minutes, you hear the sound of a dwarf in peril.
Radda?
We got here. We
No!
got.
No! Please, no! Why? Why?
I'm going towards it. I gotta help.
As Hazel charges forward, you begin to see a sickly green glow fill the hallways as you approach closer and closer to the source of this dwarf in peril. You come across a sinister-looking chamber that is filled with pools of green acid.
From down there?
You enter down a small flight of stairs. In this room, you see a series of pillars dominating the space. The ceiling is about 20 feet high. The pillars extend from floor to ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On 3 of the pillars, the far ones, 1, 2, 3, you can see dwarves strung up on the pillars, hanging off the ground, strung up on the pillars.
Oh dear.
You can hear the sound of the distressed dwarf coming from further back. You can't see it directly because the pillars are in your way. We are going to roll for initiative.
18.
3.
21.
7.
Are these guys dead?
What's your passive perception?
12.
They are not moving. Korv has the initiative. In this room, you can see the acid down below simmers and bubbles. It smells very sulfuric in here. The acid is 10 feet down from the edge of the stone. You can hear the dwarf in peril further down the room. Definitely not one of the ones strung up on the pillars. And you can hear a scuttling sound and a kind of laughter. You can best describe it as a sort of laughter, though it sounds like it's not coming from humanoid vocal cords. It's very chittery. As you round the corner there, you can see a dome of magical darkness surrounding that far wall area.
Hazel is going to just go around that pillar and look at the nothing. And I want to look at the ceiling or anywhere around that I can see.
No! No!
I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on Hazel.
I'll stay there and see what I can see if there's anything different from this side.
What do I see now that I'm closer to one of the strung up dwarves closest to me?
You see, they are very much dead.
Do they have anything of interest in
Hazel
them?
says balls.
Anything of value wrapped around them? Holes in their bodies?
You're immediately going to loot them.
No, I'm also curious how they died.
And I'm checking their pockets.
Roll a perception check.
21.
This one does not have any wounds, is not bleeding anywhere. His eyes are wide open, and you can see green veins etched throughout his wide open eyes. He does have his weapon on him. He has a battle axe, and he does have a small pack strung up on his back. If you want to get the pack, you'd have to cut it off of him right now if you want to be quick about it.
Yes, dagger it.
You cut off the pack. You'll have to wait until your next turn to investigate
Okay,
through the
got it.
pack.
I want to walk up to the double wide bridge. Not good with bridges, guys. It's
Don't
been,
like the bridge.
been bad every time. I want to
on.
like step hard on it and see if like it gives a little bit or if it sways or
It
if
seems very solid.
it seems very solid. I'm gonna double. Keep going all the way under Korv.
No! Please, no!
Radda, is that you?
There is no response.
I guess I'll just take some rope and kind of
What about your berries?
throw my rope out over the edge.
The rope falls freely down to the acid, and the
Okay.
tip of it gets seared.
Eden will be crossing the bridge. And do I see anything?
Nothing different. You
New.
see the dwarf in front of you strung up.
And I poke him with a sword.
You can poke him with your
Oh, just
sword
On the
In?
foot.
on the foot. His skin looks distended, as if he was suffering from gigantism.
Oh.
Gigantism.
See, it's like bloated.
I pulled up an image of Ken Griffey Jr. from The Simpsons when he drinks too much nerve tonic and suffers from gigantism. Hey, there's your another esoteric
Everybody
reference.
gets one.
I poked him.
Eden
So-
poked him with a sword,
That's
and his
the
foot
same, right?
pops open, and a
Oh,
cloud
gross.
of brown gas wafts up from his
Why is it brown?
from his foot.
So I
Thank
He's
you.
Yeah, I've been
He's
waiting
got
for
hoop
years
foot.
for that bubble to pop.
that's not good.
I'm gonna take my I have 10 feet of chain. Can I light it with a cantrip and cast it into the magic darkness and see what happens?
Yes, you can. You toss your chain into the magical darkness, and you can see it illuminates the magical darkness. And as you cast the chain in, you see the body of a dwarf on the ground in the fetal position, rocking back and forth, surrounded by 5 cockroach men.
Men.
As the light
The worst we've ever
illuminates the darkness, they all
Scatter?
shriek,
Sorry.
and they scuttle off.
seen. That's awesome.
Turn the freaking lights on some roaches.
Oh my god, that's
Men.
horrifying.
Roachman. I'm ready
The
to squash.
dwarf continues to rock in the fetal position.
Hazel runs over to her. I want to try my best to console her.
Good job.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay.
Roll a persuasion check.
13.
She opens her eyes
gonna
and
be okay.
sees.
Hi.
"Ah! Ah! I hate cockroaches!
Petting them.
Oh my gods!
Me too. Me too.
Understandable.
Are you hurt?
Ah, no, I'm okay, but
There's 3 dead
Ah!
dwarves over here.
oh, my companions! Oh, the humanity! The dwarf-manity!
I'm a helper. Stand up.
Thank you, child.
My name's
Thank
Hazel.
you, child. I'm
Ah.
Radda. Where did you come from?
We were sent in here on a sort of quest. You guys haven't returned in 3 days, and the dwarves are worried about
3
you.
days. It feels like it's been 3 years. Oh my goodness.
Did you also go through some trials that were very personal?
It was terrifying and horrible. My 3 companions, they didn't make it. Oh, one by one they fell. They fell as we progressed through this awful, awful maze. I was the last one, but I couldn't handle the cockroaches.
Your trial was the cockroach? I'm sorry.
Ah, don't remind me. They were scuttling over my hands and my
Ew.
feet. It was, oh yeah.
That
mean,
is
Eden
that is
is like,
extremely
oh.
gross. But
Did Faragor send you?
Faragor did, yes. He was outside and worried about
I,
what might have befallen you.
He's my second in command. It makes sense he'd send a search party for me.
He was terrified to enter the caves himself, though.
Well, I did give him explicit instructions not to enter after me. I guarantee he was more scared of me than he was the ruin.
Who strung your companions to the pillars?
I'm not sure, but it must have been the cockroaches. Those dastardly, greedy, scuttling insects.
I want to see if they died of different stuff.
The middle corpse is full of wounds and punctures and crush,
Yeah.
bludgeoning, everything.
Radda, do you need help with taking these guys down or giving them a proper burial? Let's.
If we can, it would be the decent thing to do to return them to the mountain, to get them out of this horrifying place.
Do you know how to get out of here?
As you ask that question, the altar that you are seeing right there in the room slides back and reveals a stairway. Seems like that's how we get out of here.
Can I check the contents
Try
of
to
the
take
bag?
them down.
Roll a d8.
Okay.
8.
It is a scholar's pack.
Robair, I'd like to try to carefully get the dwarves down.
I'll help.
You extricate the dwarves from their perches.
My question is going further getting us out.
Who do you think built this place?
Did you see the inscription at the beginning? It seems to me like it was built by the fiends of Baal Turath in the ancient empire.
I'm gonna help wrap up these guys and give them to
I'm
the
gonna
dear Idunn.
Grab
to
the
carry 'em.
chains and start
Drag
dragging them
along.
up.
Sorry, guys.
You begin to drag the dwarves, heading down the stairs, and once again enter into the twisting, winding corridors of the Maze of 100 Tortures.
See if we have
After another half hour of walking,
Half hour.
you hear the sound of a dwarf laughing.
Uh-oh.
What is this? Is illusion?
Well, it could be, but it could also be another person in need.
A total of 8 tangerines in my mouth at one time, I tell ya. It was amazing. One of my greatest accomplishments ever. Robair, and
sounds like
only Robair, hears a subtle lilting laughter that you recognize as Petunia's.
If we leave this place, Robair's forever gonna be thinking that maybe he never left this place. Everything.
Keep going. I'm gonna keep walking.
You eventually pass through a archway, and you see Ferragor and Petunia sitting on the stone floor of the cavern.
Hey, you guys in the illusion?
Oh, you're back! Radda! You found Radda! Oh, praise be to Moradin. I feared the worst. Radda, are you okay? Yes, Faragor, I'm fine.
Does this room look like the room we started in?
Looks like where you came from.
I want to look for the inscription.
Can
see
you
the
go up
inscription.
to- go
Okay,
up
I
to
think this is the
Petunia and
rune.
Poke her and see if
I hug
Yes.
Petunia.
Oh,
I
hello,
went to-
Hazel.
okay.
Hi, good to see you. I'm glad you made it out. How
I'm
was
out of
it?
spells and it hurts. Everything hurts.
Don't worry.
We need a nap.
But we found Radda,
We need lots
and
of
she
rest.
knows about gems.
What is this place then? And Radda explains to Faragor that it is the Maze of 100 Tortures and how her dwarven companions fell, pointing to the dwarf. Oh!
Well,
Huh?
I hand the chains over to Faragor. Like, hey, here's your buddies. Hey, these
Oh!
are your friends.
It's a shame, a waste of proper good dwarf life, but they'll go to Moradin's side now. He called them back far too early, but Moradin, your will is strong. We trust in you. Well then, Radda, what should we do about these ruins then? Radda says that as soon as possible, they mark this chamber, block it off until they can find suitable countermeasures to expunge it from the face of Pyrrhus.
I recommend them to hit up Itri. He is a powerful old wizard who lives off the coast of Moonstone.
Is he really that old? I thought he was not very old.
Well, I mean,
compared to a
what's
dwarf.
important is he
I
also
didn't
has
say he was old.
he also has ruins underneath his tower that are similar to this.
Maybe we'll check him out. It's been a while since we've been in town. Things are probably a little different.
Lots
Look
have
at that
changed,
tree.
by the way. We're gonna give that information up.
Yeah.
So,
You
yes.
walk and talk.
Yes. This is our friend Petunia, and see this hole in her chest. She used to have a gem in here. She's a scion.
What did you say?
She's a scion from ancient times.
Of Aarakocra.
Moradin truly walks beside us this day. There is an ancient relic that's been passed down between all the Moon Dwarf clan chiefs for generations and generations and generations, and that's dwarf generations, mind you.
Hazel's eyes are this big.
I'll show you when we get back and after we give these poor souls a proper burial.
Do you want your pickaxe back?
Oh, sure. Thank you very much, laddie. It's pretty far deep down in there, but you get out to the exit, and a crowd of dwarfs has gathered in anticipation, and as they see Radda exit, they all give a great cheer. Oh, look, Radda's back! Oh, Radda, I thought you were dead! Oh, no, I knew nothing could ever kill Radda. That's why they call her the Unbending. She's stubborn as a mule and will never die.
Except for
And
my
Faragor says, all right, calm down, everyone. Calm down. We have to prepare a proper burial for our fallen comrades. They all scuttle about and set to work. A couple of dwarves take the bodies away. You don't have to trouble yourselves with that. That's dwarven business. Right now, let's see about this Petunia of yours. Radda and Faragor take you into the clan home of the Moon Dwarfs. And Radda takes you upstairs to her quarters.
Ooh.
And she explains to you that for generations and generations, the Moon Dwarves have passed down a scrap of a scroll, a ritual scroll, that they know came from ancient Aarakocra. And she pulls it out. It is kept in a very secure steel lockbox. It is a scroll fragment that's been passed down to each new Moon Dwarf clan leader for the last 1,000 years. It is from ancient Aarakocra, and they have to this day been unable to read it. But if Petunia is who you say she is, then perhaps they can finally
She is.
understand what this ritual scroll fragment says. Petunia takes a look at the scroll, and she gingerly feels it with the tips of her fingers. Her eyes begin to flutter back and forth as she reads the passage, and she says, yes, this is it. This is a scroll from ancient Arcosia that is part of the ritual of the Scion. It seems to be the method with which the ancient Dragonborn used to pass the power of the Scion into a new body. Does that mean that, well, I suppose I always realized, but this can't be my original body now, can it? Seems the spirit of the Scion has been transferred into this body. I can't remember how, but this is how it must have been done. It says that the crystal is a key component to this ritual. It doesn't... It's only a fragment. It doesn't say how the crystal functions, but it does say that the gem must be cut from a heaven's pearl? At the mention of a heaven's pearl, Radda's eyes grow wide.
Do you have a Heaven's Pearl, Radda?
A heaven's pearl? You may as well be asking me for the hammer of Moradin.
Do you have that?
No, lass, I don't. You see, Moradin is the god of all dwarves, ruling on high from the celestial plane atop his mountain, wielding his hammer. No mere mortal dwarf could comprehend the weight of the responsibility, the burden of all dwarven kind.
Does he have a Heaven's Pearl?
Child, you have much to learn. A heaven's pearl is an extremely rare gemstone. It's a rare geological phenomena that forms when the icy condensation at the top of the Starspire Mountain is struck by the blue lightning that is unique to the mountain range. The condensation must be gathered atop a cropping of mithril for the chemical reaction to take place, which will form the pearl. Since mithril is found under the ground, it's incredibly rare to find any outcropping anywhere, much less at the top of the bloody mountain.
But it has happened, apparently.
Oh, it's happened. Strange things have happened in this world, but not in my lifetime have I ever seen a heaven's pearl.
Is there some way we can force this? I mean, Petunia needs this gem. I don't know what's going to happen, but she's weak without it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since she read the scroll, that proves to me that she has some connection to it. What I'll do is I'll give you a token of thanks for rescuing me and my companions, bless their souls, from that horrible maze. She rifles around in her living quarters, and she pulls out a small tin. And inside the tin are 4 yellowish spheres about the size of a golf ball. You see these? These are the larvae of a treasure scarab.
Oh, shit.
Now what's going to happen? If you feed the larva with 1 pound of meat, it will immediately enter its pupa stage. After 8 hours, it will emerge as an adult treasure scarab, and it will immediately seek the shortest path to the nearest mineral of significant rarity. It's how we dwarves find such luscious mines of gold and silver and
cheat.
platinum and even mithril down there.
A divining scarab.
Yeah.
If it doesn't begin to feed upon said mineral, the scarab will die. And be quick about following it. These little bastards, they're quick. Here you go.
And maybe these will find mithril on top of the mountain?
It's your best chance. I would say you should trek as far as you can into the interior of the mountain range before you use them. The further you go, the higher your chances, I say.
What do you think someone could do with the gemstone? Someone with evil intentions. What could they use that for?
It's a focus of incredible arcane power. Something with limitless energy. Mithril, transformed by the blue lightning of the heavens.
Yeah.
I'm no wizard, but that kind of
tracks,
power
yeah.
source could do wonders.
I don't know how long we're gonna stay here, but I would like to make my armor studded.
Once again, as a token of thanks, they could do that overnight.
While we sleep.
Well, then I bid farewell and I head back to the farm.
You return to the Stowaday farm. The sisters are overjoyed to see you. Oh, you made it back! Can they ask you all manner of questions about the
We met dwarves!
the Dwarven district and the mines and everything therein. They're glad to see Petunia, of course. You tell your tale to the Stowaday sisters and inform them of your plan to go up the mountain.
Yep.
And you sleep. You can take a long rest.
Oh, Jesus.
Wealthy now.
Morning arrives. You feel good. You feel accomplished.
It's not the first time
I
this
feel
has
like
happened.
something Something's in the air. Put a spring in your step. Feels like you
I feel like summer's ending.
made a difference.
We need to get some meat.
We need to get a bunch of meat. At least 4 pounds. Got a
As
butcher?
you wake up and walk outside, you see
some hunts.
Petunia a little bit away from the farmhouse, and you see she is kneeling down, crouched next to Toad, your sentient shrub. Petunia says she found him here in the morning, and she came out and started humming to him.
Just a dancing
And now
little,
he
like,
seems to be following her.
Oh, nice. I'm happy with Toad and Petunia's existence. They can enjoy them. Has he grown any with the spell? He's more fertile.
He's blooming right now.
Yeah.
Aw, pretty.
Plenty of lilac blooms.
Petunia, you have a great influence on him.
I suppose so. I don't know. I just saw him out here this morning. Must have wandered here by himself.
He seems to
Can
be
I
following
take?
you around.
I want to take Kavi and go hunting for some meats.
I'm sure there's
As
a butcher.
you leave
Yeah, that's money,
the Stowday farm, you see Kavi sees Petunia, and he runs over to her and brushes up against her leg like a cat before following you out to the
Okay, that's enough of that. Come, come, Kavi.
roll a survival check.
So 24.
Idunn spends the day in the surrounding wilderness hunting. You are able to take down enough game to bring back a quarter of your maximum carrying capacity, which is still probably like 50 to 100 pounds.
I need to get some wood.
Then I visit the peacekeepers. They must have some arms.
You can visit the peacekeepers. Carlo Borracho has finished cleaning the place up. And you
Okay.
see a
Hunt.
contingent of half-orcs and the peacekeepers. And you see the two, you see
Car.
Spike and Car, given barking orders.
Hello there.
Hello, Robair.
I was wondering if you guys had some arrows. I'm going on a journey, and I'll pay for them if necessary.
Oh, yeah, we got some arrows. You can buy arrows from them.
I will seek out Ambassador. Can't remember that name for some reason.
that guy.
Yeah, so I would go to Sasha and see if she can grant me an audience with him now that things have calmed down, if he's still in town.
You go to the Hotel Azul. Sasha tells you that as soon as his house arrest was lifted, he took off, saying he was headed for Grandweir.
Fair enough. Is everything better for you, Sasha, now that the town is back up in order? Things going well?
Things are much, much better. Wouldn't you say, Karavac? Yes, things are much better now.
He
He
can
can
speak?
talk now. Damn it.
You have such a nice voice, Karavac. My good
Thank
friend
you.
Idunn would love to speak
It's
with
been
you.
about 30 years since I've used it.
Wow.
Okay.
Why weren't you able to speak?
Roll a persuasion check.
11.
That's my business, not yours.
Oh, shit.
Fair enough. I respect that.
Mistress? He nods at Sasha and walks away. Unrelated, but I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for the first time.
Oh, good movie.
So if you haven't seen that, there's your other reference, chat. See who gets it.
I'm gonna go to the nearest bar. I want to go to
Oh, Barry. I
the
liked Barry.
casino and see if Barry or Gaspard is there.
I thought you were
Barry
talking about
is
Gaspard, I'm
there at
sorry.
the bar.
Hey Barry, how you doing?
Oh, Korv, what's going on? Hey, a lot of stuff has been going down here in the hotel, man.
How anything new? What's business like now?
It's fine, I guess, but I don't know. All the dealers are kind of on edge now. They were just like snappy and snarky and just not wanting to hang out or anything. I don't know.
So is
Weird.
business still running?
Yeah,
You
business is still
guys,
running.
Okay, good, great. You hear about the mayor?
Yeah, it was weird. It was
So-
weird. The peacekeepers just went crazy and killed him. I don't know what's up with that.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's why they fired the whole lot of them.
That's good. Are you going to be looking to advance your career and run for mayor or peacekeeper? Or?
Me, mayor? No way. I don't want that kind of responsibility.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have fun here and I get free drinks.
Okay, hey, can you pass me one of your drinks?
You have to pay for it.
All right, what's the cheapest drink? All right, I'm going to drink my ale, 4 pieces of copper.
The day passes.
Yeah.
Idunn trundles back with 50 to 100 pounds worth of food.
Let's invite everyone we like over for
Yeah.
one final party.
Yeah.
You have a barbecue and you invite everybody who you like. Everybody, three NPCs.
Thalia, Old Man Murphy, Etri.
Gaspard.
Yes, no.
Gaspard, Janice.
Still sent him
and
an
any
RSVP.
other sexy-looking lady.
Gaspard, yes. Janice, nope.
From the bar.
Random person.
You just throwing invites out and
Roll a charisma check.
11.
Yes, random person.
Karavac and the guy
Janice,
from the
too.
casino that was so nice to me that I took a little bit of advantage of. And that's it for me. I don't know anybody.
With Karavac comes Mistress Rouge.
Perfect.
Yes, good. I was going to invite
Perfect.
her, but
Yeah, those
Cool.
kids will come by, yeah.
Anybody invite Radda?
No.
I'll invite Radda the Unbending, Helen, Pitara of the Temple of Saloon.
Oh, the temple chick, yeah.
And Wave Runner, the harbor
Wave
master.
Runner!
Yeah, they all come by. Whatever invitation or summons or whatever you sent to Etri was not received. I mean, if you went over there and banged on his door, there was no answer. If you sent a carrier pigeon, there was no response. If you, I don't know what, but there's
He's
just no
busy.
response.
I
He's
used
doing
the
something.
internal post office.
Janice just flat out said no.
I'm gonna talk to Karavac during the party.
Roll
What's your family
a
name?
charisma check with advantage.
Got 14.
Karavac tells you that he is from the continent of Aska. Goliath clan names traditionally have 5 syllables. Karavac comes from the clan Ragraden Skalder.
And I would like to get him and I drunk and discuss competitiveness in how many people we've killed. How many
He
people
does not drink.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to be like, so how many people you punch in the face? How many teeth you broken? Like, try to bring up a friendly competition.
He
Let's
says
do an arm wrestle.
not many, because for the past 30 years he's been in the service of Mistress Rouge. Goliaths typically don't live too all that long, mostly because they all seek out greater challenges that usually lead to their demise. They find it better to die young and strong rather than old and frail. He's a little bit older than most Goliaths out there. And so his stories are mainly just kicking out rowdy hotel patrons, drunkards. He sees Waldrick and says he's had to deal with him once or twice.
So have I.
However, if you challenge him to an arm wrestling competition,
That's what I do.
roll a strength check.
Okay, 24.
You lose the arm wrestling contest.
24 and I lose?
I want to talk to Thalia. I want to apologize to Thalia. I'm going to say, I'm sorry for sort of deceiving you when we first met, but isn't it crazy where we've gotten at this point? I was just a simple girl in your shop, and I didn't know if I could trust you or not.
She happily reminisces with you.
That's what I wanted from that. I wanted to party and reminisce with Thalia.
She happily reminisces with you.
and
Tinge of sadness in her voice, obviously, as she can never go back to the illusionary life she had, but feels better that she can move forward with open eyes.
I wanted to know that I'm impressed with how much. I'm very impressed with how much you've taken on.
And she thanks you for supporting her along the way.
I'll always remember you, Thalia. And then I want to go to Old Man Murphy and just bring him a drink.
He's asleep on a rocking chair.
I slowly, very slowly walk up to him.
He's sleeping. Come on, Murphy. It's a party.
I got a drink for him, and I want to slowly
You
walk
should
up
be
to him
telling stories.
and wake him up.
Roll an intimidation check.
23.
You are very scary. He wakes up screaming once again.
This never gets old, Murphy. This never ever gets old, Murphy. But I'm glad you came. Here's a
He
drink.
laughs very loudly.
You
from
should be
across
awake during the party.
Ah!
We might not be coming back here, and I wanted to hear one great story from you one last time.
He tells you a story about how he once played a song for the Delphinus fish. Song with 8 instruments magically playing in harmony as they surrounded his ship. He was sailing with a musician, you see. A magical musician, wizard musician, you see. And he cast a spell on 8 magical instruments that orbited around his ship and were playing a song, and the Delphinish came out and granted him a wish. And while Murphy was waiting to think of a wish, the magician whispered down into the ear of the Delphinus and got his wish granted instead and disappeared, never to be seen from again by Murphy. And to this day, he curses the name Martin! Martin! I'll curse that name till the day I die.
Hazel's sitting full attentive and watching.
Is his last name Magic Face?
He never caught the last name. He only knew Martin.
I cheers him, and I don't know. I'm just sitting content and happy listening to Murphy. Did he know Radda? Was that the one he talked about? Murphy met Radda at some point. Radda's here.
Murphy was friends with the previous
That's
clan
it. Yeah,
chief.
okay. Cool. Yeah, that's all Hazel wanted from this party.
I'd like to approach Radda with Francina on my arm.
Everyone here we know, and there's just Korv walks in with a random chick.
She's gorgeous. Okay. So I want to ask Radda if she knows anything about gargoyles.
Gargoyles, not so much. Occasional earth elemental creatures that they dig up in the mountain, which are sort of similar, but not really. So no, she doesn't have any direct experience with gargoyles.
Any chance of any passings with Aarakocras?
Are gargoyles
You are the
man-made?
first. Yes, they are. You are the first Aarakocra she's ever met.
I pluck a feather and give it to her as a gift.
She thanks you.
Okay, cool.
I do that with my beard when I meet new people.
Robair would like to flirt with Wave Runner.
Nature finds a way.
I guess.
Roll
to
a
flirt.
charisma check.
6. I end up talking about my wife and kids at home.
Oh. Does Wave Runner
You end
have
up
kids?
talking about your wife and kids at home. Wave Runner does not have kids.
Sweet.
Wave Runner listens intently and is like, oh yeah, the married life. I guess that could get you. I don't have any kids to weigh me down. I wouldn't want them. There's only one Wave Runner in this world. And everybody has a good time at the party. Eventually it dies down and you all go to sleep. The morning arrives. What's your plan?
I want to go straight. I'm rearing to go up straight the mountain. After a
Little
hearty
bit hangover.
rest like that,
Kicking
Hazel
Francine
is
out of my bed.
Hazel's ready to go.
Right now.
Robair's excited for the mountain because that is one of his
Into my
favorite
bed, right?
terrains.
Petunia, we will get you this gem.
What?
Yeah, we're getting ready to go. Pack up.
Petunia slings the pack over her shoulder and tightens her belt. All right, I'm ready.
Oh, you're coming?
Oh yeah, Petunia.
Absolutely, I'm coming.
If you're confident, I trust you. You've gotten us out of many puzzles
We'll
and
keep you
jams.
safe on our journey together.
If they can keep me safe, we'll keep you
As
safe.
always.
Yeah.
Yes, Petunia is coming with you, and Toad is following behind Petunia.
Yep.
Mechanically speaking, you're going to be journeying away from civilization. You know that you'll be going into mountainous terrain. You know the Starspire Mountains are very tall, and they can get very cold in the higher altitudes. Food and sustenance and shelter will come into play more than we have been doing. So knowing that, I should have mentioned that when I first mentioned the mountains, but knowing that, you can kind of retroactively make
Went to the store.
preparation.
Yeah,
and
can we
such.
get like
Bring
warm
some furs.
Went
stuff?
to the CVS.
I need to buy wood planks.
Can I bring this
Is that a thing? Or make wood planks, I guess.
You're talking about your catapult spell, right, Curley?
Sure.
You can literally use anything within the
Yeah.
weight ratio.
Anybody want to read this? It's the group. It applies to the group.
So I'm gonna
I
take
have a
some
jacket.
wood that's just like
I
a
was
pound.
born
You know.
on a
Find
mountain.
whatever object
Natural
you want.
Explorer, but I'm a ranger.
Can I get like a jacket
Yeah,
somewhere?
As long as it's not a Fabergé egg. You can
I'll
go.
make you a jacket.
There are clothing shops aplenty in Moonstone.
No more, brother. How much for a warm gear? warm
Whatever it
clothes?
says for a basic set of clothes, add half again as much.
2 gold for traveler's clothes.
Oh, thank you.
So 3 for heavy traveler's clothes.
Right.
Can I buy a crowbar?
Yeah.
Rations are pretty cheap. There's 5 silver pieces for a day of rations.
Tourist town doesn't really have rations per sale.
Roger.
If you're looking for food in town, you just be buying food and like wrapping it up yourself. So it costs more than rations.
They have jerky.
They
Can I
do.
buy some? How much is for some jerky?
Well, in real life, it's like $10 a bag. Stupid jerky business. What is it?
12
bag?
ounces.
It's like 5 silver for a half pound of jerky.
I'll take that.
I'm gonna buy a climber's kit.
Tourists go on climbing expedition. Sure. So what did Robair get? Just-
Crowbar, climber's gear, which includes a bunch of stuff I'm
Yeah.
about to write down.
Yeah, yeah.
A water skin and warm traveler's clothes.
Yeah. What Korv get?
Water skin and traveler's clothes. I cut some holes for the wings.
Eden.
I got some jerky and a water skin.
Jerky and water. And Hazel.
Jerky, and I want some super cute, like fluffy traveling.
Jerky's 5 silver for a half pound.
Okay.
Oh, for the mount?
And then the clothes,
What?
I want like a little puffy
Nothing.
like beanie thing for Hazel,
it's on
and
150.
like just like a coat.
Hazel gets a little bit of jerky and some warm clothes.
This is kind of self.
Now you head for the mountain. The Starspire Mountains loom ominously up in front of you. Marbles brought up a good
little
point.
muff.
It's like a little she's
What
a
did
little bunny.
Petunia get? Petunia was traveling around with Robair and also getting warm clothes. She did, in fact, look for boots that had more traction. She got a climber's kit of her own, an ice pick,
I didn't get any of that.
and she's got a quarterstaff as a walking stick.
They're gonna be really thin and difficult for me to fly in.
Don't worry about it.
If you were
3
to
gold.
go to the highest peak of the Starspire Mountains, the air would be thin. Petunia
You're like nothing. You're
also gathers up a small satchel of good soil from the Stowaday farm. Now you head towards the mountain.
like, okay, we're
What
going
if
up the mountain.
can I ask Toad to jump in a little pouch for me so I can carry him up?
Yes.
Okay, and he does it.
Yes.
Hazel has no knowledge or skills of mountainous ranges, so she's going to just follow your guys' lead.
You
I'm
begin
Push
your
you under
ascent
my arm and
towards
tell
the
you
mountain.
All about my home.
You start with the approach. The approach to a mountain is the area at the foot of the mountain where it's starting to slope up. It's not the mountain proper, but it is the long approach as the ground rises up towards the mountain range. You spend 3 days on the approach. The Starspire Mountain is a great mountain range. So Robair, as the leader, roll a survival check.
Uh-oh.
20.
Robair leads you on approach, and you do not get lost. As you are on the approach during the 3 days, you see tracks of woodland creatures, and you see some tracks of large mountain lions. Robair, with his survival check,
Animal friendship.
identifies the mountain lion tracks. Because he rolled the way he did, you do not encounter mountain lions. Everybody roll a perception check.
26.
Robair, as you are on the approach, you find a small shrine that looks to be dedicated to Moradin, the dwarven god. You see some offerings left for Moradin, a few hunks of ore that some people have left, a few coins. Looks like a small party traveled this way at some point in the past. It looks fairly well overgrown with plants and such, but you do pick out the items of value.
How many coins?
I leave it there. I don't-
Robair.
I
don't
add to it.
I put a griffin feather down.
Korv sees you as you...
So I just keep walking.
Oh, look at these.
Well, you see him do
talking.
something, but you
Right,
don't
'cause you
perceive
know.
it as anything other than Robair
Yeah.
just doing the Robair
Hey,
thing.
Robair, what are you
Eden and
doing
Hazel
over
are
there?
talking. We're
Yeah,
like,
we're
what's
just-
Look, can I just tell you, it's a good habit, Korv. I don't know if you know the ways of other cultures to not disturb shrines and the offerings.
Coins were there.
I don't know. I didn't check because it is not for us. It's for Morden, the god that the dwarves
in the
look after.
fountains and shit, just taking.
In fact,
wishes.
it would behoove me to encourage you to leave an offering for good, safe passage on our journey.
Oh, sure. Anything to get over there, so
Okay. Oh.
I don't take anything.
So you
my
make
greed.
it through the approach without incident, and now you get to the mountain proper. Robair is leading the way. Robair, what is your goal in your expedition?
To climb the highest peak and then eventually once we get there, past the cloud cover, we have 4 opportunities to unleash our treasure scarabs to help us find Mithril.
Robair, roll a survival check.
18.
Robair leads you up the mountain range. Robair manages to pick and choose his way in a winding path through rocky canyons, sloping upward. He manages to find pathways where you don't have to do any hard climbing for the first few days. You spend 4 days in the mountain range traveling towards the interior. As Robair leads the way, he remains alert to danger, and he does indeed detect danger upon the mountain. Robair, roll a D100.
89.
You are traveling along the edge of a shallow chasm, and Robair detects the presence of trolls in the chasm.
Can I take a time to discern their number? And
You can. Roll a survival check, because you detect signs of their presence as you're going, and now you're specifically looking for their number.
16.
You see traces of 2 distinct trolls.
Is the sun out?
Right now, the sun is out.
Is that the same as is that
the
D&D? Trolls can't come out.
You're
in
going to
the
roll a
sun?
monster knowledge check?
Yes.
It's going to be a nature check.
17.
You know that trolls actively avoid sunlight.
Well, while we have sunlight, I would like to
leave.
go as far away. I'm alert to danger, so I'll know
You'll
if
know
something
if
is
they're
coming
coming.
up.
All right. I trust everything about what you do on this mountain at this point.
That is the most hazardous hazard that you detect in 4 days. It's been over a week since you entered the mountain range. You're going to have to either hunt or forage. So you can either have Robair try and look for
I'm gonna sit
everybody,
back
or
and
you
let
can
Robair
all
do
attempt
everything.
your individual checks.
I'm gonna do one too.
or any of this
Yeah,
stuff.
I will. I'll do it.
I'm the little girl on this mountain. Okay, at this point, like I'm
ready.
blown away
I
by
wanna go
Robair's
out.
ability.
I'm gonna say me and Eden.
That's
you
fine by me.
protect
I
the
will
girls.
look around.
When we get
I'll
on the
be-
open ocean, baby, that's when I'll take over.
Okay.
Roll
well,
survival checks.
16.
22.
Robair, are you searching together or hunting separately?
Yeah.
Together.
As you are hunting on the mountain, you see a group of rams
Uh-oh.
that look like easy targets.
So we're not eating them.
Eden, can't you see this is a gift from Kavaki to help us sustain us on our
Trying
journey
this
up the
new song
mountain?
on you.
What better symbol from Kavaki than to send us these ripe ram
Eden wants
pinatas?
to pray for a second just to see if Kavaki is going to do any divine inspiration to say, yes, you can eat these. Or, no, don't touch those.
Roll a religion check.
15.
As you pray, Kavi starts walking forward into
Show
the
me.
clearing where you see the rams. And as Kavi starts walking forward, one of the rams comes over and starts sniffing at Kavi. The rest of the rams run off, but this one is just standing there with his head down, his whole flank exposed to you.
Okay, then I'll eat him.
I try to get a arrow into its
You shoot
heart.
and kill the ram. You drag it back to the
Teeth
others.
and hair.
You replenish your packs with some ram steak. The next day, you continue on the mountain. You continue up the mountain. Roll a survival check.
9. I'm so full on that ram meat.
You can't get lost. You are alert to
Unless by
danger.
magical means.
Roll
Don't give
a
him ways.
D100.
I want to see what he does. 32.
So Robair leads the way, and he comes across another chasm. This chasm has a bridge strung across it. Seems to be a 75-foot across chasm. It is a rope and plank bridge, your typical Indiana Jones bridge that you got to cross over. In front of the bridge, guarding the way, it seems, is a half-ogre. Robair and your natural explorer know that crossing the bridge would be the easiest way to continue further up.
Uh-huh. Steve, how can I discern if a half ogre is someone that we can try to make a deal with?
Roll
Roll
some dice.
a monster knowledge check.
Monster
Once
knowledge?
again, nature.
14.
The half-ogre is 8 feet tall. He holds at his side a battle axe.
Double
You
Hazel.
know that half-ogres are the result of when an ogre mates with a human, hobgoblin, bugbear, or orc. You know that they do have intelligence. Most of them speak giant.
Ooh, I can talk to them.
Approach cautiously and ask it what it wants, if it will let us pass.
As you approach,
What you need?
he
Does
grips
cross.
his battle axe at his side.
What you need for us to cross? I have meat. You want meat?
Yes, he wants a offering of meat, and he also wants a trinket from each of you.
What about a steel mirror?
He'll take a steel mirror.
I have a horn for
I
playing
used my
an
holy
instrument.
water.
I have an iron pot.
He'll take the horn. He'll take the pot.
No javelin, though?
He doesn't want a javelin. He's already
How
got
about
his
some-
axe.
I can give up a tinderbox in lieu of your stuff. You want a tinderbox?
Oh.
It's
Okay, tinderbox.
It's 2
Some
pounds.
meat.
He looks at the tinderbox and asks, "What is this?
I don't know.
It's helpful for starting fires anywhere
Helps
you
with
want.
fire.
Show me."
I utilize the tinderbox with some flint. And
Roll
just make some
a
tinder.
survival check.
14.
Yeah, you get a little tiny bit of tinder on fire, and you show him how it works.
Yeah.
He'll take it.
Cool. There you go.
Oh,
Take the
Steps
meat.
aside.
ask him what his name is.
What's your name, sir?
Kroll.
I'm walking
Oh, sorry, Spike.
extremely cautiously
Oh,
across
come-
the bridge, holding
my
both
little
sides,
crow.
taking very slow steps.
You cross the bridge.
Hazel
Thanks,
has developed a
Crow. Does he
phobia of
understand
bridges.
me?
You keep traveling, and it is getting cold. Tonight, you will have to find shelter to weather the winds that have whipped up.
You're the
Whoever's
shelter.
searching for shelter, roll a survival check.
11.
20.
5.
I have 8.
Hazel
We're
and
gonna
Korv,
die.
as you
Use your
are
wings around you.
searching for shelter, you slip, trip, fall. You lose a level 1 spell slot until further notice. As you're searching for a cave, your hand is on the side of a rocky outcropping, and it gives way. And as you're touching this rocky outcropping, you flurgen blargle! And it flies off into space.
That's going to have repercussions.
Robair was able to find a suitable shelter. The next day arrives, and you continue your journey through the mountains. Robair continues to lead the way. Roll survival check, Robair.
13.
Robair, roll a d100.
97.
You detect signs that a rock might be roosting in the area.
Not coming.
Whoa. Don't want to fight it. Yeah, Steve, we'd like to avoid the rock.
Robair leads the way. And as Robair leads the way, you hear the telltale cry of a rock soaring high above. If you wish to avoid detection, you will have to hide. Everybody roll a stealth check.
Can I cast something, Steve?
It's that one spell.
That trace, yeah. Casting time is 1 action.
So yeah, you can cast that as your first action.
For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including me, has a 10+ bonus to stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. Creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no traces or other traces of its passage.
Stealth checks all around.
21.
15.
28.
34.
You all dive under various outcroppings of rock, and you see a huge shadow pass between you and the sun. You
that's
hear
where
a great wings flapping.
Big bird.
Everybody roll an insight check.
20.
16.
24.
5.
Everybody except Idunn surmises that the rock will be flying around for one of two reasons. Either it's hunting or it's guarding its territory. If it's hunting, it will be searching for food and eventually go back to wherever its roost is. If it's guarding its territory, it's kind of unknown how long it'll be out here.
Can I monster knowledge and find out if they hoard treasure at their nest?
They've been
Rocks
collecting treasure.
are not known for treasure hoarding.
Okay.
They're not Korvs.
Let's go. Let's continue.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Well, we'll wait
move
for
on.
the shadow and the flapping to disperse, and then we'll move.
We'll try to sneak out.
After 20 minutes, you can still see the presence of the rock in the area.
Okay, let's continue. We only got another 40 minutes of this.
Try
Everybody
sneak.
roll a stealth check.
20.
22.
30.
19.
You all move carefully through the mountainside, making sure to duck under the shadows whenever possible. After a half hour of harrowing cries above your head, you seem to have left the territory of the rock. Once again, it is getting very cold in the mountains. You are entering into snowy areas. Another 3 days goes by. You are in the ice and snow of the mountains. You know you are getting towards the upper reaches.
Oh, nice.
How are the clouds looking where we're at? Are they above us still, or are we below them? Or...
It's been relatively cloudless for the time you've been here.
Can I see the
Robair
Moonstone
seems
village?
to think that this is a time of calm in the mountains. Whenever it's this calm, it seems like it's a calm before a storm in the mountains. Whoever wants to search for shelter, roll survival check to search for shelter.
Can I defer to them and find and just go with their shelter?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
If
not
you
gonna
are
roll.
searching, roll for
try.
survival.
20.
18.
Robair and Korv both find suitable places that would afford you shelter. The next day rolls around, and Robair continues to lead you through the icy cold mountains. Robair, roll survival check.
23.
Robair continues to pick his way through the mountain pass.
Yulua bless us, Celestian
It
guide
is
us.
getting very, very cold. Everybody roll a constitution check. If you bought warm clothing or have abilities that say otherwise, roll with advantage.
13.
16.
26.
16.
You all manage to trudge through the cold weather without incident. Robair, as he leads the way, detects the presence of his favorite enemy. Elementals are on the mountainside.
While tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their size, and how long ago they passed through the area.
Roll survival check.
17.
You see actual footprint tracks from what look like 4 small creatures, and you see the slithery, as though some sort of slithering elemental was slithering through the snow. So 5 total. Seems like they passed through this area very recently, within the day. Your insight
Okay.
tells you that most likely it's some sort of ice.
Can I steer us in a direction away, but still progressing?
Yes. Korv, what's your passive perception?
12.
Korv also looks over and notices that the tracks sparkle with a glittering remains of some sort of powdered gemstone.
No.
Okay, we gotta get rid of the elementals because if it's sparkly, couldn't it be like a sign of? Is it
But
somebody
on the
leaving
tracks,
us?
though. I mean,
Let's try. Why don't you try to discern what is sparkly about it?
It looks like the elementals are leaving behind some sort of residue
Like snails.
of some sort of sapphire-like gemstone. You can pick up minuscule grains of what look like sand-sized grains of microscopic sapphires.
No, I mean,
No.
Hazel votes. Let's go forward. I mean,
Yeah, let's
go.
But
We would-
avoiding them.
Around.
I hope we all agree that we're all going to try to find the path away from these elementals.
You continue onward. After one more day, you reach the summit of one of the mountains. You see the wide expanse of the Starspire laid out before you. You've come quite a long way. You've definitely left behind some peaks because you were traveling through the mountains as you went up. So peaks are behind and front all around you.
We're really high up. Let's let a bug up. See what happens.
Ooh, yeah, I like
Because
that.
we have 4
I like
of
it.
them.
We'll take a rest. We'll give a bug a pound
I
of
like-
meat.
that's
Wait
a
an
great
hour,
idea.
I think it said, and then follow it, ready to murder it.
8
apparently.
hours.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
start feeding the bug.
I'll feed a bug.
You give the larva a pound of meat, and it devours it greedily. And you
Look at
see
this little guy.
a hard
cute.
pupa form around it.
We don't know how quick this thing's gonna be. We don't know which direction it's gonna
Everybody
go.
roll a Constitution saving throw with advantage if you have warm clothes or otherwise.
21.
18.
26.
7.
Hazel loses one of your hit die maximum
Oh, bonkers.
until further notice.
I was
Hazel
too
is
cold.
shivering as you hunker down. The summit of the mountain is unprotected from more of the wind and elements.
Oh, we'll use your tinderbox to start a. Oh.
Oh, no, but mirror will show me where I'm really coldest.
As you wake up in the morning, you see Toad and Kavi huddled up next to Petunia.
That warms Hazel's heart.
I'm jealous.
You wake up and you begin to watch eagerly as the larva
Everyone get ready.
begins to hatch into its adult treasure scarab form.
Everybody.
All right, everyone.
Got the
The
gauntlets on,
scarab
too.
hatches and it looks like that.
Oh, he's a little guy.
He's the size of a rhinoceros beetle in real life,
Aw.
just like the size of the palm of your hand.
He ate a pound of meat.
Good for him. I don't know.
And it begins to scuttle away.
Get him.
Following.
Maybe
You
he's ready.
chase after the treasure scarab as it scuttles away. Everybody roll perception checks.
20.
20.
20.
17.
A natural
You
20,
manage
but-
to follow the treasure scarab. As you are following the treasure scarab, you see it jump into the air and kind of glide. It can't really fly, but it's gliding down on its wings.
Got it.
And you are on an overlook, and the treasure scarab jumps over the edge. And as you come to the edge of the overlook, you see that the treasure scarab is fluttering down into the center of a group of ice elementals.
This is
As you
something.
see the treasure scarab
I know.
flutter down, you see it rotate 180 degrees and disappear underneath your feet. You can tell that the scarab fluttered down, then reversed its direction and scuttled into some sort of cave below your feet.
Okay.
These elementals appear to be guarding the entrance of the cave.
I will jump
Probably not where. our
Eden
mithril
jumps
will be.
down. We're going to say that this is the upper area where you guys are. And so we'll just follow a line from here. The mountain area where you are extends in that direction and that direction. So this
Got
is
it,
all the
got
upper
it.
area, and this is the lower area, and where the scarab went into the mountain that way. There are 4 small ice elementals, which vaguely resemble humanoid figures, and 1 blue snake-looking creature amongst them.
Going
As
to
the
the
treasure
cave.
scarab flutters down, they all look up
Okay, they see
and
us anyway.
stare at you
Okay.
and begin to chatter in a language. You can tell that it is a harsh and grating dialect of Aquan. Aquan is the sub-offshoot of Primordial that is native to water elementals. This one's a little more harsh and grating,
Okay.
a little more solid, if you will. You can understand the idea of what they're saying.
Sure.
They are saying, "More intruders! Protect the mother lode!"
And I like the term mother load.
I do too. It feels like money to me.
Their mother load could just be
We
garbage.
were
Roll
all
for
mother
initiative.
loads at once. 6.
20.
2.
7.
Well, you said not to jump down, but I'm going to go ahead and just hover 10 feet above them. And I'm going to cast Blade Ward on myself.
Korv casts Blade Ward. The snake whips its tail at you and fires jagged ice spikes up at you. 19 to hit against Korv.
Yes.
You take 4 piercing
2.
and 2 cold damage.
Hazel's gonna cast Shatter. It's going to be right between these two guys right here. Constitution saving throw.
Constitution for the snake is a fail. Constitution for the ice mephits is another fail. Everybody fails.
11 thunder damage.
A massive burst of thunder erupts and you see cracks form in the icy bodies of the elementals.
I'm gonna go for the snake. 2 attacks. Longbow.
High ground advantage.
28 to hit.
That's a hit.
7 damage, and then 14 to hit on my second.
That's a hit.
And then 6 on my second.
Your arrow ricochets off of its icy body, taking a small chip off of it.
I'm going to Reg. We'll see if I can do anything against this guy. Great sword attack on that miniature. 22 to hit,
That will hit.
1 radiant damage, and 6 regular damage. I will attack again, because why not? 16 to hit,
That'll hit.
14 slashing damage.
So the Mephits are going to fly, and those two are going to exhale Frost Breath on Korv and Robair. Roll a dex save, both of you.
9.
Robair fails the dex save.
18.
Korv passes the dex save. So for this first one, Robair, you take 5 cold damage. And Korv, you take 2 cold damage. Roll another dex save, because the second one is exhaling its Frost Breath.
19.
13.
You both passed the save. My total was 6, so you'll each take 3 cold damage. These two are going to attack Idunn with their little claws. First one whiffs. Second one, 13 to hit.
I am a 13 armor class.
So that will hit. 3 slashing damage and 1 cold damage.
Cast sleep on my snake friend.
Total?
21.
It's asleep. It happened.
Yay!
And so is that guy.
Yay!
The snake and one of the Mephits fall asleep. That Mephit falls out of the sky 10 feet and takes 3 damage, which then wakes it up.
Okay, I'm gonna go inside the cave a snoosh without looking at what's in the cave.
As you jump down, you land upon a frozen body. You take 1 fall damage
Ball.
and roll a dex save.
6.
You fall prone after slipping on this body.
No!
So can I stand up with the rest of my movement?
Yes, you can.
All right, so then I stand up. I want to shoot a lightning bolt at those fools.
They fail their saving throws.
Oh, okay. Well,
Awesome!
30 lightning thunder damage, whatever it is.
You shatter the 3 elementals into icy bits.
Like, Hazel didn't look cool at all falling down that cliffside, but she still looked cool at the end of the day.
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
Yeah, Robert's just gonna do 2 sword strikes, and we're gonna add Slayer's Prey. A 9 to hit.
9 will not hit.
The next one is a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
It's 12 piercing.
Can I climb back up the mountain?
You can climb at half speed. 10 feet up.
I will attack. 12 to hit.
That will hit.
Cool. And 2 radiant. Oh,
He
okay.
shatters.
Okay.
The only thing is left is this snake.
What about this this body I fell onto?
A snake.
Hazel investigates the body she fell on.
Yeah, let's go see what that's
The
about.
body is the frozen remains of a dwarf. It seems to have been here for quite some time. Though his possessions have all disintegrated over the ravages of weather and time, he clutches in his hands a copper scroll tube. The copper scroll tube bears an inscription on it. As you scrape off some of the frost, you can see an inscription. To Curdverm from Valiente, your friend. As you attempt to open the tube, it has been frozen shut over time. Roll a strength check.
5.
Hazel cannot open the scroll tube.
Can I try? I want to try.
Eden, I immediately would hand something like a peanut butter jar I can't open. Immediately hand it to Eden. Be like, come on,
Roll strength.
be gentle.
I got a 20.
You pop open the scroll tube easily.
I snatch it out of her hands.
Hey.
You find 2 things. You find, number 1, a spell scroll. It's a level 1 spell scroll of Chromatic Orb. And you also find a small diamond.
I hand the diamond to Korv.
As Korv inspects the diamond, he notices that it catches light in a peculiar way. As Korv reflects light off of the diamond, Korv notices that the light reflected off of it forms words and shapes and patterns. You can see it illuminate the cool snow beneath your feet, and you find the following.
Hey guys, check this out. It says, to honor the mountains, 3. Should Moradin call us to his side. Cried Durham, Fardum, Bragvim. Brothers, fortune hunters, explorers, sons of Skirdvim, sons of Radda.
Is it
Look at the
map?
back. It's a map.
As you rotate the
this
gem,
cave?
different faces refract and illuminate these 2 images. One of a passage of words, the other
That was a scrap of piece
some
of paper.
sort of a map.
Hazel needs the diamond back.
Here you go, Hazel.
Thanks. Couldn't hurt to praise Moradin.
Yeah.
He's calling to our side.
There was a little shrine to Morden down beneath the
They
mountain.
might have come up
base of the
here.
mountain.
Yeah.
Might be connected.
Well, and that's one way to get Mithril to come out of a mountain. Maybe it might be involved with Moradin. We might need this god on our side. Does it look like the cave entrance on any of those?
The cave entrance before you is a gaping maw with one single prominent stalactite hanging down.
That gem on top of the crown.
It
I
looks
wonder if the gem is made
mighty
out of
nice.
pearl.
I want the crown though. We're going in the maw of the cave.
So it is a cave, right, that we can enter?
Yes, and you see the tracks of the treasure scarab.
Yeah. Oh,
have
yeah.
scuttled inside.
go.
Yeah,
Cool.
let's go after the treasure scarab.
It might have eaten the diamond on top of the crown.
Oh, yeah.
You enter into the cave. The tunnel beyond the yawning entrance appears to be formed of solid ice, cold and hard to the touch. The tunnel floor is smooth and slick, making it difficult to find footing. The soft blue hue of the ice is dimly illuminated, no doubt from refracting the daylight outside. As you proceed, you can feel the tunnel sloping downwards, as if you were passing down the throat of some ancient colossus of ice. Once again, it is hard to find proper footing. Petunia has a little bit easier of a time since she got boots specifically designed for more tread.
Me too, I got boot tips for my climber's kit.
I did not. I went for fashion over function.
Since I'm mountain born, can I be barefoot and walk easier?
Yes, you can.
Awesome.
Oh, great. So it's old Slippy Haze over here.
Robair, roll a survival check.
It looks like we're looking for a face.
We're following the scarab. 15.
With your natural explorer knowledge, you know that ice
Just checking.
caves possess some natural hazards that make progress more difficult. Number one, the icy floor. Slippery surface makes it difficult to move effectively, unless you have taken precautions or have a feature. The whole of the dungeon is difficult terrain. At the beginning of your turn, you can choose to make a dex save. If you succeed, you can move freely. If you fail, you'll lose all your movement. Also, this entire cave is made of ice. Any loud noise has a chance of cracking the ice, creating potential hazards. You walk through the tunnel as safely as you can. The tunnel leads down into a chamber where flecks of snow and ice gently whirl about in the air, though no wind can be felt. In the center of the chamber, there is a large block of ice which bears a crude resemblance to a humanoid head.
I mean, do we see any sign of the beetle or the
I
scarab?
love Spike. Oh, yeah.
You detect no tracks. The hard ice does not leave footprints.
I want to walk up to this head and get near it and then see what I can see around the rest of the room.
Roll an investigation check.
10.
As Hazel gets close to the head, the flecks of ice and snow that are whirling about the chamber swoop down and coalesce into a solid ice wall, blocking the doorway. As the flecks of ice and snow coalesce into solid walls, swirling lights illuminate within the icy head. They come together to imitate two eyes and a mouth.
Hello?
Hello!
Hi.
Welcome! My name is Sokol.
I'm Hazel.
Greetings. Welcome to my chamber. It's been so long since I've seen travelers down here.
Yeah, we sort of stumbled across this place. Not sure what to expect. What's going on?
Oh, I assume you're here to proceed further in, seeking great treasure and riches, eh? It's okay, the rest of you can come closer, I won't bite.
Does this mouth move, or is it
Hello,
just is
Sokol.
it
The lights of the mouth inside are moving,
Okay.
but it is similar to fish in an aquarium.
Yep. What are you? I've never seen a creature like you.
I have wandered here from the elemental chaos, and yes, I am stuck here. I can't survive outside of this block of ice, you see.
Let me ask you something. Does the name Magrada sound familiar to you?
No. Should it sound familiar to you? Does the name Aarakocra mean anything to you?
It's my father.
Not quite.
God bless you.
That was the name of my old roommate.
The elemental planes?
Yes. Quite pricey real estate out there, you know.
If you know these caves, well, we are looking in particular for our for mithril deposits.
Oh, I don't know these caves. I only know this room. I've been stuck inside this block of ice for a very, very long time.
Can we get you out?
I doubt it. If you broke this block of ice, I would be unable to survive.
Oh, never mind.
Unless you can create a portal to the elemental chaos. I fear I am stuck here.
I cannot.
It sounds like a sad existence.
It's unbelievably boring, which is why I'm glad you're here. You've come to play my game, no doubt.
Yes, we will play your game if it is fair.
Excellent, excellent. Let us play then.
Hold on, what if we didn't want to play your game?
Well, then you'll freeze to death because I won't open the door.
Okay, let's play the game.
That doesn't seem nice.
Well, no, it's not, I suppose.
That's
So if we
ice.
broke your head open,
You could try.
We'll play your game.
what is the reward for your game?
You will get out of this chamber, of course. And you won't freeze to death. A perfectly good reward.
Let's do it.
The flecks of ice and snow swirl about, and in front of each one of you, a small marble of ice is formed. Go ahead, take your marble.
Okay.
Now, choose a spot along the walls of the chamber surrounding this ice head.
Hazel casts mage armor.
You see a ring of light illuminate the ice around the pillar. The rules are simple. You must shoot your marbles and attempt to land them in the ring of light. Simple, eh?
What
Oh.
are any other rules?
No, but you probably want to roll very well. So the way that this is going to function, instead of rolling a value, you're going to choose your dex check value, which represents your shot. You can see that Sokol, the creature, has manipulated the ice in front of you so that it is undulating and changing properties. You all have different values that you're trying to hit because the ice is moving and manipulating in different ways all around. You're going to choose your dex value, and your dex bonus will give you a buffer zone around that value. So, I have a target in my head. You're going to choose a value between 1 and 20, and your dex check will be the buffer. For example, if you choose 14 as your shot and your dex is 2, then if the number is within 12 to 16, that range you'll pass. You can use survival, perception, or insight to attempt to get a hint about the ice in front of you.
I would like to use survival, please.
Roll it.
I got 18.
The ice in front of you seems like it has a very slight incline as it goes away from you. Very slight, but otherwise pretty smooth. By the way, in case it isn't clear, the higher your number represents a more powerful shot. Korv.
Oh, survival. An 8.
Korv, you notice the ice in front of you has an extremely slight downgrade, but is otherwise smooth. Hazel.
I tried survival, I got a 7.
You are fascinated with the orb of ice in your hand. You're paying more attention to the marble itself and how unbelievably smooth it is and frictionless rather than the ice in front of you on your pathway.
I'm okay with that.
Robair, are you going to use anything to get a hint?
No, I trust marbles.
Idunn, what is your roll?
My instinct is telling me 16. That's what I want. That's the number I want.
Number that you are choosing is 16. What is your dex bonus?
Uno.
Korv, what is your dex number?
5.
What is your dex modifier?
3.
Hazel, what is your dex number?
I was hoping to wait for Petunia to do hers and then go with what kind of she does. But I guess let's take a stab in the darkness here. I'm feeling a 12. Give a little.
And what's your dex bonus?
Is the 1.
Modifier?
Yeah,
Dex
the
modifier.
+1.
And Robair.
My modifier is 4.
Modifier is 4, and your choice is?
6.
You roll your marbles. Petunia's marble lands squarely in the middle of the ring of light.
So jealous.
I clap.
Idunn overshoots, and her marble impacts with the pillar of ice. As
What's
your
your
marble
dex?
impacts the pillar of ice, it cracks open, and an ice elemental bursts out. Korv rolls his marble, gives it a gentle push, and the natural decline carries it, and it stops in the ring of light.
Thank you,
By the
Ms.
way,
Marble.
Idunn, your target number was 9. Korv, your target number was 7.
Good get.
Hazel, you shoot your marble, give it a bit of an oomph,
A little English.
and it overshoots ever so slightly.
Hazel is just depressed. She wanted to get the big fish.
That's a missed marble.
Your orb cracks open and an ice elemental pops out.
You have to care for it like a baby.
Your number was 9.
We're
Robair
literally not close enough. actually.
barely even taps it. and it rolls about 3 inches away and stops. Your number was 18 that you had to get. 3 ice elementals appear and begin to attack you.
Row.
Roll for initiative.
8.
18.
19.
21.
Once again, difficult terrain unless you pass a dex check. If you have boots geared towards it, you will have a definite advantage on that check.
No, I'll shocking grasp this gentleman right here.
Oh, things are getting a little chilly.
Oh, come on. 10 to hit.
Yep.
Well, that was me.
Eden's turn. Eden is gonna go Rage Town and
Rage number 2.
Rage number 2. Okay, I'm raging and I'm gonna hit him with my greatsword, the ice elemental. 27 to hit,
That's a hit.
5 divine damage, and 10 slashing.
Second attack.
17 to hit,
That will hit.
8 slashing damage.
I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on the elemental that's next to Idunn. At a spell slot level 2. Do a Wisdom saving throw.
Rolled a 9.
So that is a fail, and I have 3 damage.
Ice elementals. Eden, as you hit the ice elemental with your greatsword,
Yes.
the cold aura surrounding it does cold damage to you. Total of 5 cold damage, and it will attack you now on its turn. 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
You take 7 bludgeoning damage and 3 cold damage. Hazel,
Sup?
you're getting attacked. That is a fail to hit. And Robair is getting attacked. 14 to hit Robair.
Miss. Short sword upon the elemental in front of me. 16 and 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Slayer's Prey. 11 piercing.
The cold aura emanating from it does 1 cold damage to you as you contact with your short sword.
Back to Hazel. Top of the round.
Hazel's gonna shocking grasp the one right in front of her. Yeah, she is. 24 to hit.
That will hit.
5 the lightning, thunder, shocking.
You take 2 cold damage as your hand wraps around a frigid limb.
I'm going to hit this guy again. Okay, I'm gonna hit him with my great sword. I'm 24 to hit,
That will hit.
2 radiant, and 10 slashing damage.
You take 5 damage from its cold aura. Second attack.
21 to hit,
That will hit.
17 slashing.
Yeesh.
Crumbles into icy bits.
I'm gonna do another Vicious Mockery. I'll hit Robair's.
Was it
Saving
Robair?
throw?
19 saving throw.
It's a fail. You're safe this time.
Sorry, Ice is next.
1 attack on Hazel, 1 attack on Robair. It's a miss on Robair. 21 to hit on Hazel.
Yeah, it's gonna do it.
5 bludgeoning and 2 cold.
2 attacks. 1 is a critical fail.
Roll a d100.
30.
As you attack your opponent, you begin to fear that they are the superior combatant. You have disadvantage on your next attack roll, which is your second attack.
Critical.
Critical fail again.
Yep.
Roll another d100.
Just keeps chaining in.
Robair is ready to go.
82.
Watch it be the same thing.
Missing what you thought you were going to do, a 0 spare right here. Missing what you thought was a critical blow causes you to panic. You end your turn and you're surprised until the end of your next turn.
Back to Hazel.
Shocking graspio. Get me the die. 18 to hit.
That will hit.
15 lightning damage.
You take 3 cold damage.
Buggers.
Can I
Other
run
creatures
towards Hazel's
I know.
Iceman?
But,
I would like to hit him with the great sword.
Javelin
16 to
You have
hit.
to ask Steve.
16 will not hit.
Okay, same 16.
Does not hit.
I have a question about my heat metal.
Heat metal.
Can I apply it to like the tip of a javelin and use that against a creature? I know if the creatures were wielding wet metal, I can heat that. But what about if I'm wielding something that's...
Choose a manufactured metal object. It's a metal weapon, a heavy suit of metal. Blah, blah, blah. You can always have a glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact will take 2d8 when you cast the spell. Modern javelins are primarily made from steel, aluminum, blah, blah, blah. Makes up majority of the javelin must be made of metal. So the primary construction of a javelin. So if you heat metal on a javelin, anybody holding it is going to take the effect of it. If it's somewhere else and then you heat it, then it would happen. But if you're trying to heat it so that it can be thrown, whoever is doing the throwing is going to take damage.
Okay, got it. I had to test it out. So Vicious Mockery on the one that's closest to Robair. I cast a joke. A wisdom saving throw.
5 wisdom saving throw.
2 damage. You're willing to
So 1 attack on Hazel. 24 to hit.
Yep.
11 bludgeoning and 5 cold. 1 attack on Robair. 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
8 bludgeoning and 1 cold.
Robair.
This bypasses my turn.
You are surprised this round, so your turn passes, and now you are no longer surprised. After Robair,
Back to Hazel.
Shocking grasp on the boy. 16 to hit.
that will not hit.
Yet in the bardic inspiration. Yeah, 21 to hit.
That will hit.
7 thunder lightning damage.
You might wish you hadn't rolled that because you take 8 cold damage from its aura. You're the only one that's been hitting him.
I've been hitting him pretty hard though.
After Hazel,
Yeah, if you're hitting him near him, he's gonna do damage
After
to you.
Hazel is Idunn, and Idunn
I
is
just don't wanna
going
kill it at this
to hit this guy next to Hazel. 21 to hit.
that will hit.
3 radiant, 11 slash.
You take 6 cold damage from its aura as you shatter it into tiny bits. A blast of liquid nitrogen blast back in your face.
That's why
taking
it's
the
6.
6.
Oh, that's first attack? Oh, critical fail. on
Critical
the
fail. Roll a
attack.
d100.
40.
You miss an attack and gaze upon the chaos of battle, causing your confidence to falter. You have disadvantage on your next attack roll against the target.
Okay, that's it for me. Next is Korv.
I'd like to fly up in the air so I'm not disadvantaged by walking. No, I don't have to do a dexterity check. Need to get closer to the one last remaining creature. I'm gonna cast Bane, which is the thing needs to make a charisma saving throw.
12.
Fail. A D4 subtracted from your attack roll or
Bane.
saving throw.
Ice is going to attack Robair. 16 to hit.
Miss.
And shield.
I'm gonna disengage.
If you want to move full speed, you roll a dex save with advantage. You're fine. Twin 17s.
I'll burn a sorcery point and do shocking grasp from far away.
Ooh.
17 to hit.
That will hit.
Like a summer
There's 8
sausage.
thunder damage.
No, not.
Your electricity crackles through the air, illuminating the motes of dust and snow and ice in the swirling about, creating a cool, spindly pattern within the ice as it makes contact on the elemental's body.
I am going to attack this guy, and it's a disadvantage, right?
Your first attack has disadvantage.
15 to hit.
That is
which
a
an
miss.
auto hit. But guess what? 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
3 radiant, 8 slashing.
You take 6 cold damage from the aura.
I'd like to attack again. 18 to hit.
That will hit.
12 slashing.
You take one final 4 points of cold damage as it bursts into icy shards.
Yeah.
Not cool, elemental ice friend.
You successfully resolve combat.
Curley needs some help.
All right. One room clear.
Thanks for all the marbles, Steve.
The heroes have wandered deep into the Starspire Mountain Range, looking for mithril outcroppings where mithril has no business of being outcropped.
It's all you, baby.
Following treasure scarabs, avoiding trolls and other creatures of the mountains. Finding a strange cave with a dead dwarf outside, a mysterious map illuminated inside a crystal, bearing familiar names. The ice dungeon beckons, filled with strange elemental creatures. What lies further within? Find out next time on Dynamite D&D. It's going to be in November is when we will have the next official game.
Thanksgiving episode.
Stay tuned. It'll be a Thanksgiving episode, sure. Again, thank you for all the subs. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the patrons who've been hanging out through the off-season. Definitely appreciate that.
And thanks, Steve.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Thank you, Steve.
Pleasure. We'll see you next time, everybody. Going around the table once more. I am Steve, the Dungeon Master. That is Erin. That is Sam. That is Curley. And that is Paige. Dynamite D&D. See you next time, folks.